Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a first impressions day test as well for a foundation that was sent my way very kindly. It was actually by surprise. It showed up at my door to kind of announce the arrival of IT Cosmetics to Sephora, as well as an online itcosmetics.ca website for Canadian customers. So it's really exciting. So I was sent the Your Skin But Better CC Plus. It's the color correcting full coverage cream plus anti-aging hydrating serum plus SPF 50 plus UVA, UVB, broad spectrum physical sunscreen. There's a lot in here. But yeah, so I wanted to give this a good test. It's basically early in the afternoon and I'm going to be spending basically the day at home just filming and doing stuff around the house, still setting up my house. Yes, there will be a house tour soon-ish. I'm going to say in about 3 weeks there'll be something up. But yeah, so I wanted to give this a test. Just some details about the foundation first, and then we will get into application, and then I'll do some check-ins throughout the day. So like I said, this foundation, along with other IT Cosmetics products, are available now at Sephora online, as well as some locations. So the bigger locations will most likely have it. It is also available through the shopping channel if you live in Canada. And then also, again, it is through itcosmetics.ca. So now for this foundation in particular, it comes in 7 different shades. You get 1.08 fluid ounces. And if you're in Canada, it retails for $49, and if you're in the States, it retails for $38. Now, along with the super long name for this foundation, it basically promises full coverage, brightening, hydrating, a poreless finish, and it's basically like a moisturizing day cream along with sun protection. That is a lot to promise, so we will definitely see if it delivers it. I do have dry to normal. I would say definitely more on the normal end right now. I don't know how it happened, but my skin definitely started becoming a lot more normal, even sometimes combo, depending on the weather. I'm not complaining though, because I hated my dry skin way back when. So we'll see how that performs with that. Basically, what I have on my skin right now, I put a serum and I put a moisturizer, basically just so that my skin would feel normal as it would any day that I put makeup on. So yeah, so I'm gonna use just a beauty blender, a dampened one, to apply this. I basically had a really bad time trying out different techniques with the Fenty Beauty first impressions that I did. I hate using foundation brushes, so I'm like, why am I even bothering for this? I want to make sure that I kind of give it a test as to how I would typically use foundation, not go way out of my lane and use something and then be like, oh, I don't like it. It's probably because I don't like the application technique, not the foundation itself. So yeah, so let's get into the application now. Okay, so I do really like that this comes with a pump, and then it's also a squeeze tube, so basically you should be able to get a fair amount of product out by the end of it, and then if you can't, you can always just cut it. So it's kind of like a nice hybrid in between the two of a regular pump foundation and then a regular squeeze tube foundation. I kind of like that. I'm going to start with one pump alone because it is full coverage. I'm just going to take it directly on the Beauty Blender and just kind of stamp it. And let's see how this goes. Yeah, it has pretty good coverage. I do have some breakouts and stuff. My skin tone is not even at all right now. I definitely need to start working on my skin a lot more. It's really weird. I can just tell that I'm aging, and it's kind of alarming. Both with my skin, I can just kind of tell that things are starting to change, and I can't, I don't know, go without using certain products now without seeing horrible changes in my skin. Okay, so that was one pump. I mean, this side had the most product. It's pretty good, but I definitely need another pump for sure. My skin looks really nice with this on though, which is really nice. It's it looks like skin. It doesn't look cakey. It doesn't look heavy. It doesn't look super matte. It just kind of looks like skin. Yeah, just and you can tell in the camera. It's almost kind of dewy. So I don't know how people with oily skin would fair with this. Oh yeah, and I'm in the shade Fair, and I would say that it is a pretty darn good match. Thank you so much, people who sent it to me, for actually matching my shade. I don't even know how they did that. I must have looked up pictures of me and guessed on their own. Okay, so now it also says that it can be like a dark spot concealer, so I'm going to take it on the other end of my beauty blender, just a tiny touch, and then I'm going to see how it does with some of my acne, especially like around this area. I have a lot of acne marks right now. I think it was just stress. Work's been really crazy, and with the move, and then I had just a lot of stuff going on, like fun stuff in my life, but it just kind of took me away from like doing things that I'm used to doing every like weekend even. And I've been like really selfish, just like trying to spend time with my boyfriend, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of put some stress on me because I haven't been producing content, and it really bothers me that I'm not doing that. Okay, this is not doing an awesome job in terms of spot concealing, so I'm not really sure what they're talking about. I definitely want to go in with my Makeup Forever Extreme Concealer, just because it's definitely not cutting the redness. Like, it's enough, but you can still tell that it's there. You can just see. So I've gone over these spots multiple times. Maybe with my finger. Let's try that. Yeah, no. Foundation, yes. Concealer, no way. No way, Jose. It is not a concealer. But foundation, pretty good. I left it away from like basically under my eyes because I am going to go in and conceal that. You can see like my skin looks actually pretty darn good. It's certainly not full coverage. I would say it's a medium coverage once it's layered. It's definitely buildable. It didn't start like kind of building up too much in areas. I do really like that. It did smooth out the appearance of my skin for sure. I do have enlarged pores around my nose, which I absolutely hate, and it's definitely minimized those for sure. I'm a little worried about the dewiness of it. I'm just worried that it's going to start becoming a little bit too crazy. I'm not going to go crazy with powder. I'm just going to do a very light dust along my T-zone, just because that's how I typically wear foundation on a day-to-day basis, so I want to keep to that kind of routine. The match is fantastic in terms of color. I'm actually really impressed with that. So I'm going to finish my makeup, come back with some last minute thoughts for my first impressions. So stay tuned. Okay, so I've done all my makeup, and basically I have also filmed a little bit of content for other videos and before doing this check-in. I'm trying to be extremely efficient when I'm filming, but basically I really like the way that the foundation is looking thus far. All of my like powder products applied really nicely. There wasn't anything like skipping, anything like that. I actually really enjoyed the way that it looked. I am going to wear this foundation for the rest of the day. I have, just as like complete transparency, I have retouched around my lips, only because I did a couple of lip swatches in that time. It was fine though. It actually applied really nicely. It didn't like build up weirdly for the spots that I had kind of like removed it just from removing my lip swatches. Really impressed with this. And before I forget, because I know I will forget later on when I check in, I have a discount code for you guys. It is for itcosmetics.ca. You get 10% off your purchase until October 31st, Halloween, and the code is itgirldelano, and I will have all the information down below as well. I just didn't want to forget that later on today when I'm checking in. It is 2:51. I will check in a few hours, and we'll see. So yeah, we'll see how this wears, but I'm really impressed so far. Okay guys, it is basically like 7:30, so it's been on for more than 5 hours at this point. We're doing all right. I did put my glasses on earlier this afternoon, so I definitely did get wearing around my nose, which I have touched up because that's not fair to the foundation. It did kind of leave like the marks, you know, how you would kind of get that with sunglasses too. Did leave that. Looking in the mirror, my nose is worn off basically, like around my nose. There's a clear line here. It has kind of settled into the lines on my forehead. I am definitely a lot oilier, especially like you can see like around my nose. It's definitely a lot of oil production has kind of creeped up there, but then there's also like little zits. Those are kind of like dried out, so that's not awesome. It's worn off on my chin. I don't know if you'll really be able to see that, but yeah, it has worn off on my chin. My face products, though, are like still staying pretty well on it, so it's not like that's wearing off. I am just gonna dust a tiny touch of powder over top right now and then see how it goes for the rest of the night. I don't know how long I'm gonna keep this on for at this point, but I mean, I will do another check-in before I go to sleep. Okay, so the powder definitely helped. It didn't like further accentuate any issues that I was having, so that's nice. But yeah, my chin is wearing off from my chin area. Okay guys, final check-in for today. It is 11:40 at night. And this is actually early for me, but I am exhausted. Today's been a very full day of filming and blog stuff and just, yeah. So let's see. My tired brain needs to think right now. So it's been another about 4 hours since the last check-in. It definitely has started like drying out around my nose area. It is basically all gone from this part of my nose. My kind of breakouts are definitely showing through. You can see this one. It was a little itchy, so I did scratch it, but you can definitely see that it's red. It definitely built up around like this area. I had my glasses on again since the last check-in. I'm not as oily as I thought I would be. I think the touching up with the powder halfway through kind of really helped make it last a little bit longer. I mean, it's not amazing results after however many hours we're at this point, but it's pretty good. This foundation I really do think is going to be good for me in the winter time. Not right now, but rather in the winter time, just because then my skin will be a little bit drier. The temperatures outside will also start kind of sucking the hydration out of my skin, so then this will hopefully help with that. It doesn't feel uncomfortable on the skin. I didn't feel like itchy at all, but it does wear over time and it does get oily for me around my T-zone, mainly on the two sides of my nose. Overall, I mean, it's good. Am I raving about it? Not entirely, but I do think that this would be really good for people with mature skin. I think it's good for people with dry skin, and I think it's good for people in the winter time, just when, you know, the weather gets really cold. If you have oily skin, I don't know if this would work all that well on you. You would have to put a primer underneath and then set it, and then make sure you have blotting papers throughout the day. So maybe just stay away from that. But I mean, decent. I do like that it has the SPF 50, so that is good because then you obviously have that protection. I'm on the fence with it right now. I definitely have to keep trying it out and seeing if different things will make it last longer, or maybe it's just one of those foundations that I grab when I have like little to do in the day and I just need something on for like say 4 hours. I think it could do a really good job in that. If I need something to last though for a good 12-16 hours, this will not be the foundation that I reach for. Make sure to get that discount code down below. I have all the details down below so you can get 10% off at itcosmetics.ca. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing this video, and let me know if there's any foundations that you'd like me to try out in the future with this type of like first impressions and time trial. I'd be glad to do that. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of the day, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I'm off to bed.